Hey, sports fans, PBnZ Sports Chaos. Look who's here with us, GMoney.
Thank you for having me.
So this must be, we're doing one of two things. We're talking about gambling or talking about college football.
Maybe a little both?
I think that's what we're going to do. And by the way, where are we at today, GMoney? Live.
Main Street Sports Bar and Grill in Tewksbury.
Ooh.
Great food, great drinks, great atmosphere.
We've done this a couple times here, right?
We have.
All right, man. All right, let's talk. We got some college ball games. We have a little pool going on. GMoney, PB, and I. PB, by the way, is on vacation. That's why he's not here with us today.
Where is he? In tropical
Chile. I believe that's how they say that. Chile. I like to say Chile, like
Chile,
the food,
yeah,
but
right.
you know,
Same
whatever.
difference.
I think it's called Chile.
Has he been abducted? Anybody do like a spot, make sure he's okay? I know crime's rampant out there.
That's a good, and you know what? He's primed for being a rape suspect.
Oh yeah,
Right?
He's not someone that's gonna fight back.
No. All right. So we're doing our pool. I think so far you're doing a tremendous.
One or two in each.
Yeah, I think you're like 19 and 10 or something like that.
Yeah.
Some outrageous number. 16 and 10. I'm a little middle of the road. PB is doing horrible at the one where you pick the winners, but he's doing good against the spread. So
Which
good
is
for
weird.
him.
Yeah, I think I'm more the opposite.
By the way, the phony spreads, we picked them like 3 weeks ago. They've all changed since then, right?
Oh yeah, because all the opt-outs and the transfers. It's tough picking the spreads right now.
All right, so we're going to talk the big games momentarily, the CFP playoff games. Let's pick a couple of these bowl games. Right now, we're watching the Sun Bowl, Pitt, UCLA. UCLA is a 5.5 point favorite. I like UCLA to win this game. What do you think?
I think they cover as well. Right now they're up by 7. So obviously we're talking about something going on right now, but they're up by 7. I think they continued. I think they win probably by 10 when everything's said and done.
By the way, another game's already just started on us. It's the Gator Bowl, right? Gator, get her done, Gator. South Carolina plays Notre Dame in this game. Notre Dame's a 2.5 point favorite. Last I saw.
No, Notre Dame was a 4. It ended a 4.
4 point favorite. All right. Either event, I got South Carolina against the spread. I like Notre Dame to win it, but South Carolina against the spread. What do you think?
I think South Carolina gets the spread. I think they went outright too.
You do, huh? I mean, they're on a roll. They beat Tennessee, and they beat Clemson
in the last 2
season.
games. Yeah, they're a strong team, and they have less opt-outs and transfers. That's the problem right now. Is there's so many opt-out and transfers. It makes it tough.
And Spencer Rattler, the guy I said was going to win the Heisman 2 years ago, and sucked ever since, Bet, so thank you very much. But he's had a good finish, hasn't he?
Yeah.
All right, man. By the way, what usually is a great New Year's Day game is the Orange Bowl. This year, it's not even on New Year's Eve. It's being played tonight, correct?
Correct.
But you got two pretty good teams. I know there's some opt-outs. You got Tennessee playing Clemson. Clemson is what, a 5.5 point favorite?
It dropped to 4.5.
So now it's a 4.5 point favorite. 4.5. What are you thinking in that game?
Yeah, I mean, I think Clemson has been overrated all year.
By the way, Clemson, DJ Umagali, however you say his name, he's gone.
He's gone.
He transferred out, even though he lost his starting job to the, I forget the kid's name, but he's already left. He's off campus.
He's gone. He's done. And I don't. First of all, their QB's unproven. He had a good game in the championship, the ACC championship game. He did well, but he's unproven. They're missing a couple of their studs on the defensive side. Miles Barrett, or what is his name?
Yeah,
he's going to be a future first rounder. They're missing another defensive player. They're missing one of the star wide receivers. I just don't think they have enough weapons to compete with Tennessee.
But isn't Tennessee's quarterback Hooker? He's gone. He opted out, right?
But Joe Milton is good. He was a highly ranked guy coming out of high school. I mean, he's been on the bench, riding the bench for a while. This is his, I want to say, junior year. But the thing about Tennessee, though, is they got a two-headed monster as running back. They got two running backs that had 10. One had 10 touchdowns, one had 12. And I think they just have more weapons than Clemson. And Clemson's defense is hurt because they lost those opt-outs. So I think Tennessee wins outright, never mind covers.
So you got them winning outright and covering. All right, I got Clemson winning. I think Tennessee covers, though.
Okay.
All right. Hey, there's another game going on late. I believe it's tonight, or maybe it's Monday. The Barstool Bowl. Wyoming against Ohio.
That's coming on shortly today.
2.5 point favorite is Ohio University. Now, Ohio State fans, don't be confused. The Bobcats of Ohio State, they play Wyoming. They're the favorite. What do you think of that game?
Wyoming is probably the worst team of all the teams in the Bowls this year. They're horrible. Their offense is, I think they scored 23 points a game. I mean, it's bad. And they actually had some opt-outs. They lost like their best running back. Their defense lost a few opt-outs. Problem is Ohio lost their QB, Curtis O'Rourke or whatever.
Yes, O'Rourke.
He's gone. So they have a backup. He's never started. The problem is this game is impossible to pick. It's literally a coin flip. Give me a coin, I'll flip it. I mean, I think Ohio, but this game is the hardest game to pick by far all bowl season.
So you're going to take Ohio and the points?
I am minus
given
three.
the points,
Minus,
right?
yeah, minus,
All
and it
right,
went up to
all
3.
right.
It's a tough game, though. I mean, it could go either way.
All right, I'm with you on that one as well. All right, here's a game near and dear to my heart because I've been to this game once before. The Music City Bowl.
Nashville?
Nashville, yes. Kentucky faces Iowa from the Big Ten. SEC versus the Big Ten. Iowa's a 2.5-point favorite in this game.
Another tough game because Will Levis isn't playing. He's a star. He's a stud for Kentucky. Top 15 pick probably.
He is, yeah.
But the thing is, Ohio is so bad on offense. Iowa. I'm sorry. Iowa is so bad on offense. I don't think it matters. I think Kentucky wins, but I think it's a 31-point over and under. I think there's not going to be 20 points scored. I think it's going to be like I think it's going to be like a 17-3 game. Or no, I'm sorry, that's even high. It's going to be a 10-7 game, something like that. 10-3. It's going to be very low scoring. So I think Kentucky pulls it off.
So much like the Mayo Bowl we just watched earlier today, right?
Just like that. Because neither team has an offense. Both have strong defenses. I think Kentucky has a little more, and they're coming from the SEC, more battle-tested than the Big Ten. So I think they pull it off.
I'm worried without Will Levis. I don't know. I think the Big Ten and Iowa, their defense gets it done.
But you agree it's going to be a boring game?
I think Iowa wins. Yeah, it's going to be a boring game. Absolutely.
9-3, something crazy.
Yeah. All right. Hey, what about the Sugar Bowl? Alabama. They get to play on New Year's Eve anyway. Kansas State against Alabama. That's a 6.5-point game at this point in time, I believe, right?
Yep.
Alabama's favored by 6.5.
I think it dropped to like 6, but that's close enough, yeah.
What do you think?
I think Kansas State covers. I actually think they win. Calling the upset.
Alabama has no opt-outs. No one walked out.
That's how bad I think they have looked this year. I don't think they're the Alabamas of the past. I think they have They beat crappy teams. They barely got by the good teams or lost to the good teams. And I think Kansas State has faced much stiffer competition and won, such as TCU. And I think they're a better team. I think that Deuce Vaughn is going to be a nightmare for Alabama. And I think they're going to squeak by. I think they're a better team.
So G-Money. This is really setting the table for our next couple picks coming up in a minute, but given that, then you think that the Big 12 is a formidable opponent potentially in the CFP. I mean, I'm taking Bama, but the fact that you think K-State is going to not only cover but win this game, I can't wait to hear what he says about TCU in a moment. Oh my God. All right. The other game, I believe, on January 2nd, on Monday, thanks to the pro football, there's no games on New Year's Day. Don't you hate the fact that
pisses me
the
off.
NFL is pushing college football off New Year's Day?
I look forward to my 5 or 6 college games on New Year's.
Yeah, you don't get out of bed, you have a hangover, you drink some Bloody Marys, and you watch college football, man. All right, the Cotton Bowl has Tulane, of all teams, in the Cotton Bowl against USC, but it's only a 1.5-point spread for USC.
Which is crazy. I'll tell you why it's a 1.5-point spread for USC, because they have no motivation to win this game. They're literally ready. They're on vacation. They lost that game against Utah, and their season's done. And Tulane they overcame everyone's expectations. They look phenomenal. Their defense is top 10 in the nation. I think they win outright. I think they're the better team because of motivation. They want to be there, and they're going to try to win for the coach, for the team, for the state.
You got the green wave of Tulane winning against USC.
I do, because USC's not going to care. They're going to half-ass it.
Wow. You know what? I'm going to pick USC, but Lincoln Riley never plays well in bowl games. Historically,
when he was with Oklahoma, right?
Even Oklahoma, right? So you might be right. I'm going to stick with USC. I happen to like a little love for the Trojans, but that's a good pick, man. All right, let's talk about the Citrus Bowl. Also on January 2nd, Purdue goes against LSU. LSU is a 14.5-point favorite in this game. I know Purdue is putrid Purdue, but they won the Big Ten West, did they not?
They did. but they had their QB at the time. He's not playing. And the backup is a nobody. They don't have a dominant running game that I'm aware of, and they don't have a lot of weapons. So, in spite of Boyott opting out from LSU, I still think LSU wins in a dominant fashion.
Did I cover 14
I think they
and a half?
win by 20 plus.
I gotta win it, but not by 14. I'm taking Purdue to cover.
Really?
You know what?
I rarely take double-digit favorites, but I just feel like there's a big talent disparity between the two teams.
All right. And then before we get to the other big games, the CFP, we got this. I don't even know what this bowl is. The Raya Quest. All I know is Illinois with Brent Bielema, right? Who used to be on the Patriots staff, used to coach Wisconsin at one point in time. He's going against Mississippi State, who is playing with the hangover of Mike Leach passing away. Mississippi State's a 1.5-point favorite. I love the Mike Leach offense. I've said it before. I'm a disciple of it. When I
Air raid?
Yeah, air raid was my offense. What do you think?
Honestly, before he passed away, and I looked at the bowls, and because the lines were already out, I had Illinois. Because of, motivation is huge, and people playing with a chip on the shoulder and their heart on their sleeves. I think Mississippi pulls it out for their coach that passed away. I think that is a huge factor. I don't think the talent disparity is that large between the two teams. Illinois has a better defense. That's about it. So I think Mississippi pulls it off for the coach.
This is much like the Vegas Raiders playing against Pittsburgh Steelers after Franco Harris died. I picked that game before I knew Franco died. I would not have picked Vegas if I had known that. So I'm with you.
Yeah, I think that's huge motivation factor.
All right, let's talk about the two biggies, the CFP playoff. Let's start with the Fiesta Bowl early at 4 o'clock. TCU is a 7.5-point underdog to Michigan. Michigan looked unbelievable against Ohio State. They can run the ball. They can play defense. TCU, though, won 4 games this year against ranked teams at the time when they had to come back in the fourth quarter against those ranked teams.
Yep.
So they have a lot of willpower, and they know how to win. What do you think in this game?
So I'm going to somewhat contradict myself. So I did say the SEC sucks this year, basically, right? I did say that. I said the Big Ten's better than the SEC. And, the Big 12 I said is better than the SEC. I did say that. But here's the thing. I think Big 12 overall is better than the Big 10 as well. But I think the upper echelon of the Big Ten, Michigan and Ohio State, is better than most teams in the country. And I think TCU's luck is going to run out. I think they squeaked by too many times, got lucky too many times, and I think Michigan is just too damn dominant. I originally was on TCU until I read a stat that over 70% of the semifinal games have been won by the favorite and they've won by double digits or more. So I think one of the two games are going to end up in that stratosphere. And in my opinion, if one of the two does, it's going to be Michigan. I think Michigan's just their offensive line, their defense. I don't think TCU's seen a team like it, other than maybe Kansas State, and Kansas State dominated and beat them. So I'm going with Michigan to cover the 7.5, win by 10 to 14.
You know what? I love Max Duggan. He
is great.
He's the epitome of a college quarterback. I know he didn't win the Heisman. He would have been my pick because he epitomizes college football. Jim Harbaugh, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think he wins the game, but I think TCU covers at 7.5.
You do?
I think they get there. I think it's a 7-point game. The half-point slides in favor of TCU. This could be a good game.
Yeah, I think it will.
Hey, in the next game, Ohio State and Georgia. What Ohio State team shows up? Because if it's the Ohio State team that played Michigan, this is going to be an ugly game.
Oh, all done.
But if it's an Ohio State team that played pretty dominant most of the year, with who might be the best quarterback in college football when he's on.
Right.
Correct?
Yeah, I agree.
When CJ is on, Stroud is on, he's probably the best quarterback.
Yep.
So what do you think of this game? This one's what? 6.5 points, right?
Yeah, I think it's dropped to 6, but yeah, within the range. So my thoughts on this, and now take this with a grain of salt because I am an Ohio State fan, so I'm trying to speak from my head and my heart at the same time. But Ohio State's a bad matchup for Georgia because Ohio State thrives at the long ball, the quick passes, and Georgia dominates the line of scrimmage. So
right.
Ohio State, if they can get those long passes going, if they can get the ball out quick enough without getting sacked, if CJ Stroud doesn't get sacked, then I think they're a formidable opponent for Georgia, and I think their defense is good enough to stop Georgia. So I think Ohio State wins outright, never mind covers, and I would have been tempted to take TCU if I wasn't already on board with Ohio State. I think one dog covers and one favorite.
So you got a Big Ten
I got a rematch and
of the
a dream
biggest
rematch.
rivalry in college football.
In the
Ohio
finals.
State and Michigan in the college championship.
Like I said, I love Ohio State, so there's a little bit of my heart in this, but my head tells me that they have a chance too.
I would say this: if TCU can't win against Michigan, then the one game I want to see is a rematch of Ohio State against Michigan, and I want to see Michigan win again because I don't think Ryan Day is a good coach. Ryan Day with your drunk face. I'm sorry, you're not going to win. But
the first game, the Michigan-Ohio State, the first half was equal. They were like on equal footing, and then Michigan State just
and
took
then
over.
his defensive coordinator, I don't know what he was thinking, but he just kept on stepping up and challenging the line of scrimmage and left them one-on-one.
Against the best offensive line of football.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do that. You go rush forward.
I got Georgia winning and covering, but I'm with GMoney. I think I want to see Ohio State and Michigan play.
That'd be great.
So we'll see what happens.
Rematch.
All right, man. Good show. Thanks very much.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Cheers,
right.
buddy.